Hey guys, it's Sam Puppy 222 here.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to Southern Nash Documented. I'm your host, Genaya Silver, and today I'm here with a special guest.
Do I introduce myself? Like, what am I supposed to do?
You have to say hey.
You like, hey?
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to Southern Nash Documented. I'm back. Hey guys, welcome back to Southern Nash Documented. I'm Genaya Silver, and I'm here with a special guest,
Sam Puppy 222.
Today, I have a new segment for you guys called Cravings and Convos, where I bring on a special guest, try their favorite snack, and talk about their passions. Okay, guys, for my first ever guest, I decided to bring on Sam because we share a similar passion, and that is color guard.
I love that. I think that's great.
So, Sam, tell us, why'd you decide to have M&Ms as your favorite snack?
It's M&M's and yogurt, and I don't know. I've been on a really big yogurt. What's the word? I've been on a really big yogurt grind.
Yeah. So yesterday, I decided to get Sam's favorite snack so we can indulge and talk about what color guard is. Need help?
I got it.
So Sam, tell us, what is color guard?
Alright, so color guard is a sport of the arts, and basically what you do in color guard is you are dancing and you are spinning equipment.
Do you think color guard is a sport that's highly advertised, or do you think it's something not a lot of people know about?
Not a lot of people know about it, and I was thinking about this the other day actually, because I was writing about it. If I had never went to a singular football game in 7th grade and actually sat down to watch the halftime show, I would never have even known that color guard existed.
Honestly, that's the same for me. I learned about color guard my 8th grade year, and my friend Maria, our friend Maria and Annie, we had like a
picture of Maria.
Yes, a picture of them right here. We had a creative writing class together, and they were going to their first interest camp for it. And they were like, hey, did you know you could do color guard? And I was like, what is color guard? And they didn't even know either. So they were like, you should just show up anyway. So I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. And then I was telling my mom about it. And then I found out my mom did color guard. And so then I was like, man, this is a sign. This is a sign. I should show up. Then I showed up. The rest is history.
I have to thank Wheezy a lot for getting me in the guard, getting me motivated. The whole group of people in your year just kind of bombarded me. It's like, do it! Oh, okay.
Do it now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Also, I've heard a lot of things from athletes, you know, saying how they don't think color guard is a sport. There's no athleticism involved. How do you feel about that? What do you think?
That is so controversial. Because the second you give them a flag and you tell them to go do exactly what we're doing, you tell them to go, let me think of a nice little combo that we can do.
Nice little prayer toss.
Nice little prayer toss. They're going to throw it up, and
yes,
they're going to be like, how? Like, it looks easy, but the second you get your hands on that flag, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they don't get how intricate it is. Like, there's dance aspects, there's rifle, there's saber, there's flags, and then there's also facials that you have to deal with too.
Yeah, and you have to stay consistent while doing it. You have to make sure you're not dropping and make sure you're staying in time and count and all this other stuff. Like, you're doing 10,000 things at once.
Yeah. And that also goes hand in hand with regular marching band too. A lot of people don't think they're considered a sport, which we might be biased, but I feel like there's a lot of athleticism involved in that too. Like, we do workouts after practice. They're doing visuals and stuff while playing music. That's a lot of breathing.
We go to band camp for 2 weeks straight, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And you're telling me what we're doing throughout that day is not Athletic?
9 to 5 in the heat,
Mm-mm.
doing flag work while trying to perform, while smiling. Listen,
I
I understand. But since we're on the topic of performing, do you think it's harder for you to perform while doing shows, or do you think it comes easy when you're in front of an audience?
I feel like it comes easier in front of an audience. Like, personally, while we're at practice and I'm told to perform, I hate it. I hate it so much because I feel like every person is like staring at me and they're going to see me while I'm doing these facial expressions that make me look special. But when you're in front of an audience, you're not really focusing on the audience. At least I don't. I more so focus on the fact that I'm doing my choreography, I'm doing it on time, and I'm getting to where I need to be in the show. So I'm less focused on the fact that my face is extremely happy to the audience than I am. I forgot what I was saying. But.
And honestly, for me, performing comes easier at competitions because it's like I'm genuinely happy to be there. So it's like if it's a happy show, I'm gonna smile because I'm like enjoying what I'm doing. Which I feel like that's for like any type of athlete or like performing arts in general. Like if you're happy to be there, it's gonna be easy to perform. Do you think color guard and sports like gymnastics or like competitive dance, do you think they should be compared, or do you think they're their own separate category?
That is hard because I feel like in each individual one, obviously it should be counted as an individual thing. But when you think about color guard, basically what you're doing in gymnastics and you're doing in like competitive dance, you're mixing it together and throwing it into one sport. So,
yeah, I can agree with that. Honestly, what made me think of the question is because we, like a lot of like athletes, they combine like football and basketball into like their categories together as like sports themselves. But then I feel like some people like try to like undermine the competitiveness of marching band or color guard with like dance or like gymnastics.
Yeah, and in both ways, you're still competing against other people. It's just in marching band, you have a bigger environment and there's a lot more going on than in dance when you have an audio that you're dancing to. But it's like the same way with winter guard. Like you're doing it with an audio, but just somehow with the equipment involved, it makes it a lot more complicated, I feel. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's all its own thing.
I agree. Honestly, it reminds me of like juggling.
Like a circus.
I feel like a little mime juggling. Like tell us about competitions, like how we're judged, or like how like a normal competition would go, like on a Saturday.
So you want me to explain the guard aspect of that?
Yeah.
Okay. I really enjoy competitions. I feel like that's the most exciting thing you can do in guard. Obviously. Maybe it's just me. But when I wake up for a competition, I personally wake up really early, and I think one of my favorite parts is getting ready. I love doing the makeup. I love doing the hair. But you have to remember, you have to all time that perfectly so that you can get to where you need to be on time. And you also have to keep it to where you can keep yourself presentable until after you perform. That can be a lot of work, especially in the heat. With like, say you have like curly hair, that can be a lot. Warm-ups, you can tire yourself out during warm-ups, and that can get really frustrating. Like, especially during a big competition. Say you've already like tired yourself out from stressing, and so your warm-ups go bad, and you're dropping all your tosses during warm-ups. Like that can really stress you out. And
it could stress you out like mentally and physically, because then you're like thinking to yourself that you're not going to catch it, like actually performing.
And then when you actually perform, that can like trip you up. It makes you have like a brain fart. Like during Carrie. I guess I was just nervous. But the first movement, I completely brain farted the beginning dance. I did not remember it. And it's the first thing we do in the show.
Yeah.
And then I remembered it and got back on time.
I think it was like nerves.
Definitely. But I really like performing in front of big crowds. It makes me feel like I'm
I do too. I prefer like performing in front of like a lot of people instead of like rehearsing, like doing like a full run.
Yeah.
If you don't know, a full run is like performing your whole show.
Yeah.
From movement to movement. But I would rather perform like in front of like all of our like families instead of like rehearsing by myself.
Yeah. I feel like when you have people watching you, you feel more of an effect of confidence. And it's like, ooh, I want to do good, so they can be like, ooh, ooh.
Yeah. I agree.
I take that into example, like yesterday. I was cleaning up the Pride of Cincinnati's flag feature, and I could not get this double out. I couldn't. I figured out how to do it finally correctly, and I could not get the double out. But then Tanya had to come outside and tell me something before she left, and as soon as she was talking to me, I tossed that double.
Mm. Do you see yourself doing color guard like after graduating?
Yes, 100%.
Are you like interested in like teaching guards or just because you can do color guard outside of high school? They have independent groups like drum corps, and then there's also winter guard, which we need to talk about winter guard. But
that's what I want to talk about.
Do you see yourself doing it? Like, how do you see yourself doing this in the future, like after you graduate?
I definitely see myself doing independent groups, and I really, really, really want to join AMP. Sponsor me. Let me in. Fund me to get the skills to get into AMP. But I also see myself to become a coach because I really, really enjoy like writing choreography and thinking about shows, and just the thought of being able to help other people find a passion in guard is really inspiring to me. And
yeah, I could definitely see myself doing it in the future. But there's so many in the US. I just don't know where to go to. And then the audition process is hard too. Because like for high school guards, you don't have to audition. We have like interest camps.
Well, for our high school guard,
yeah. Well, certain ones you do have to audition, but for ours specifically, you don't have to. But I just feel like nervous, like going to audition because I've like never auditioned before. So I just feel like if I had the experience of going through an audition to begin with, I wouldn't be as nervous to like do an independent group. Because like for us, you're already in it. Like once you pay your money and stuff. I don't know. Do you feel nervous for auditions?
Oh my god. I went to CVP auditions, and it was the worst thing in my life. I was so scared. And because I've only done 2 seasons of guard. I did my freshman winter season, and then we just finished our marching season, and I was a sophomore. So I'm still a baby at guard. Okay, I'm still bad. So when I went to CVP, which is a A class? What is it?
Yeah,
it's A class. When I saw them doing that stuff, I was like, I didn't know that was possible.
CVP, if you guys didn't know, is a winter guard, which is indoors. So, will you like let us know the difference between regular guard and then winter guard?
Okay,
and like whichever one you prefer.
Can I sit that there? Can I sit that there? Okay. So winter guard is basically the same thing as color guard. You're doing the same stuff, except you're doing it without the marching band, and you're doing it to an audio indoors, and there are specifically judges just for different sections of the guard. And personally, I prefer winter guard, and that might be biased because I started in winter guard, so I just feel a stronger connection when I'm inside spinning than I do when I'm outside. And,
to close out our little segment, our little beautiful segment about the world of color guard, let us know, Sam, would you recommend guard to somebody? And if so, what advice would you give them if they were just starting out?
Okay, 100% I will recommend guard to anybody. I try to advertise guard to anybody. I mean, really. But a piece of advice I'd give them, don't let the nerves get to you. Don't let the nerves get to you, because the second you see people who are better than you, it can bring you down by a lot. But you have to remember that you're still new, and that you've never done it before. So you're in the beginning stage, which is known as the stage of not being good at something. But there is always time to improve. No matter what, you always have time to improve, and you always have time to get to where you want to get. But just remember that if you really want to be good, like, you're not going to get good in a day. You have to work to get to your goals. So, I mean, work hard, have fun with it. Don't be afraid of it. Just take risks.
Yes. Well, Sam, thank you for being my first guest for my segment. I hope I treated you well.
I
Hope you enjoyed your yogurt, your
did.
M&Ms.
It was very yummy.
And do you have any thing you want to plug? Any Instagrams you want to mention? Anything you want people to know?
Go follow Coach.Jolene on Instagram. She is the Color Guard mascot, and she is amazing. I think she's awesome.
And make sure you follow SNHS Color Guard on Instagram too. So you'll see us this marching season. And if you're interested in joining Color Guard, you could contact the Instagram.
Hey, what's up?
I'll also tag our regular marching band account down below too, so you can follow them too. Thank you guys for watching Cravings and Convos. I'll see you next time.
Bye!